Hi guys, One of here back again for another video on the channel. This one today then we're going to do a little transfer update. A few players of Swansea City have left the club and we'll be talking about it in today's video. So if you do enjoy it, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, let's get into it. Now before I do get onto the main players, we are going to quickly talk about some of the fringe players leaving Swansea City. So Nathan Broom, a couple of seasons ago, was mainly a third choice goalkeeper slash, being utilised in the 23s whenever needed. He's left the club. He's joined Bolton Wanderers on a free transfer. So yeah, good luck to him. Never played for Swansea, but that's one for the quizzes in the future. And Swansea youngster Ben Lloyd has joined Newport County. Obviously, he was on a trial at Cheltenham this summer and Newport, but Newport have won the race to get the Welsh youngster at the Welsh club. So yeah, looking forward to hear how Ben Lloyd does at Newport. I did watch the whole 90 minutes when he played against Barnet, and yeah, he did struggle towards the end with cramp because he hasn't played many 90 minutes of senior football before. But yeah, he scored a penalty as well in the penalty shootout where, the nerves would have been tremendously big because Newport 2-0 up in the 95th minute, 97th minute, they're 2-2. So yeah, that would have been some almighty collapse in Newport there, but no, they did progress to the first round. So yeah, Ben Lloyd will be playing against the fellow championship team in Millwall if he plays in that game. But yeah, Ben Lloyd is joining Newport. I think it's a good move for him, good move for Swansea, but it's only on loan until January, so I'm not too sure why that is. But yeah, best luck to Ben Lloyd, who has joined Newport County. Now then, on to the main transfer videos. We've got two very big clubs in this one. Well, I say two very big clubs, one very big club anyway, and then the other club who are now in League One. So let's start off with the big club then. Florian Bianchini has left Swansea City to join John Mousinho's Portsmouth. Now, it's a very weird loan deal. I'm going to say that now. I was looking at Portsmouth attacking options. Obviously, Colby Bishop, obviously after his heart operation, scored a couple of good goals last season and, was really starting to get into the thick of things. And obviously Josh Murphy, who I didn't expect to have such a good season, was really tremendous for Portsmouth last season after signing from Oxford United. So yeah, Bianchini, he made 38 appearances in total last season in all competitions for Swansea, 28 of those appearances coming off the bench. So he only did start 10 games. Now, when we signed Bianchini, as I do with every signing, what a signing. This guy's going to be class. He's coming from foreign league. He's French. He's a winger. Yeah, did not turn out to be very good. He only scored 3 goals. Some of the goals were okay, to be fair. The Oxford United one away from home, the turn in behind and a great finish in the bottom corner. The Sheffield United one was a tap and good instinct in that one. And then the other goal as well, again, pretty much a tap against Leeds United. So, look, he did score a couple of goals there against very good teams in Sheffield United and Leeds United there. But yeah, look, he just weren't going to get game time this season. He cost us nearly £2 million, and it's turned out to be another really poor signing from Paul Watson. We'll be saying that later on in today's video as well. But look, I do wish him well. It's good that he's staying in the EFL so he can get some more experience, and he has got a bit of a long contract with Swansea. So when he comes back next season, he will still have 2 years left on his contract, I believe. In terms of Portsmouth, though, look, Portsmouth are a good club. I expect Swansea and Portsmouth to be fighting it out this season in terms of where they're going to be finishing. I think both, again, will be scrapping for mid-table. I don't think either side really have that top quality in depth to really push on to the top 6. So I expect Swans and Portsmouth to be quite close to each other this season in the table, between probably 10th and 15th. Similar to last season, really. Obviously, Portsmouth home form last season was really good, helped them stay in the league and after a difficult start. But yeah, I think Bianchini's just going into Portsmouth as a back option, someone for squad depth to go off the bench. Now, he's a winger by trade, but he's definitely much better up front than he is on the wing, I've got to be honest. He never really takes his man on the wing. He's one of these players who's got abundance of pace, but just doesn't use it. I don't know whether it's a lack of confidence, obviously him trying to settle down into England's leagues, essentially. But yeah, he just never took a man on the wing, and yeah, very lightweight as well. But in behind up front, he has got that turn in behind and, and over the top, which can be very good with utilising his pace. So yeah, he's a very pacey player up front, but I was looking at the quotes of the Portsmouth manager, and he said he likes Florian's, 1v1 ability, and I'm thinking, are you watching the same player as us, mate? But no, look, I'm sure you can get the best out of him. Obviously, Mousinho's a very good manager. I've seen Portsmouth fans saying, QPR fans saying the same about Andre Dazelle, and he's done very well for Portsmouth, but this guy's not very good, I've got to be honest. But look, if Portsmouth are playing all his wages, then I don't care about his game time. But if we are contributing something, then I will be a little bit annoyed, because obviously Portsmouth are a way bigger club than Swansea, but in terms of his game time, I just don't think he's going to get much at Portsmouth, and that's just their attacking quality at the moment. So yeah, look, if Portsmouth are playing all those wages, then I'm not really that fussed. But if we are paying something towards it, then it's a bit silly because I just don't see him starting many games for Portsmouth. But like, I do wish him all the best. Like I said, it's a bit of 50-50. I'm glad he's staying in Championship. I'm glad he's going to get another year of experience under his belt. But in terms of game time, I just can't really see it. And he can't play against us, so you can't bring that curse. But when we did play Portsmouth last season, they battered us 4-0 and then drew 2-2 where we were 2-0 down. So look, we haven't got a great record against Pompey anyway. But yeah, it's interesting. Let me know your thoughts about Florian Bianchini leaving Swansea City on loan. Like I said, it's on loan, so he could still have a future. But let's be fair, he wasn't really going to get any game time with us this season. Now then, on to another player who has left the club, Jerry Yates. The man who cost around about £2.5 million plus Kyle Joseph has finally left the club on a permanent basis. He has joined League One side Luton Town on a permanent deal now. This was announced about 10 minutes before kick-off yesterday in the first EFL game of the new competitive season. He was surrounded by Luton fans as he walked out onto the pitch, so nice good reception for Jerry Yates there. Now, Swansea City are set to receive a fee of just over £1 million for Jerry Yates. What a deal for Swansea. Now, I know that sounds crazy considering we've taken a £1.5 million loss, but with a player with a year left in his contract, 28 years old, goals are starting to dry up a little bit now. He's not that prolific anymore, especially at championship level. To get over £1 million is really good business, and considering there wasn't too much reported interest from any other teams, and this came out of nowhere, I think we've done brilliantly. Now, Yates had a year left in his contract, so it was always going to be a permanent option this summer if he was going to leave the club, but I just didn't expect to get that much money for him, really. Obviously, he scored, about 10 goals in all competitions for Derby last season, 10 or 11 goals, which, again, it's not terrible, but it's not really something you're going to look at as a team who need a striker, thinking a 28-year-old scoring 10 goals is something we're going to need. So I'm surprised Luton have gone for him, but I feel like he probably does suit that style of play Luton type of play, the second balls, the set pieces, especially at Kenilworth Road. Now, he did score 9 goals for Swansea in the 2023-2024 campaign. Obviously, he was our joint top scorer that season with Jamal Lowe. Obviously, last season was on loan at Derby County. But look, it's another terrible sign from Paul Watson. Again, on paper, looked a great signing, but sometimes you just got to look outside of paper signings and just watch the game with your eyes, because yeah, for him to try and replace Joel Pro is never going to really happen. And you've got to remember, Pro and Yates actually played a few games together before Pro obviously left for Leeds United. But look, it was night and day between Yates and Pro. Pro could strike a ball, Yates couldn't hardly move. Now, I don't hate Yates, got nothing against the guy personally. It's just a bit of a shame it didn't work out. And it cost a lot of money for him, and we expected a lot better. And for him to only score 9 goals in his first season was a really, really poor return. And I know we were poor. That's no excuse. We were poor under several managers previously and players before, and they scored more than 9 goals. So, look, as much as I don't like Liam Cullen, he scored more than 9 goals last season. So, yeah, look, Yates has gone to Luton. I wish him all the best. Obviously, him at League One level, you expect him to score around about 15 goals if given game time. If he can score, 9, 10 in the Championship last season, you'd expect him to score a bit more in League One. Obviously, Luton will be favourites for promotion this season. Obviously, I did watch their game against Wimbledon last night, time of recording. That was a painful watch. 1 shot on target the entire game. That was really, really poor. Or 2, I think, in the end. Not very good at all. But yeah, look, Yates, I think he'll do well. Obviously, Blackpool maybe could have gone in for him. Obviously, Steve Bruce said Blackpool were, looking at the possibility, but they weren't sure if Yates was going to step down to League One level, and it has happened. Now, I'm not going to talk about Richard Corney in this video. I'll leave that if we do get a bid accepted. Obviously, if we get another bid rejected, I'll just leave for TikTok videos. But yeah, Swans, 2 strikers out the door now, 2 attacker players out the door. Does this mean 1 is coming in? Who will know? Obviously, Richard Corney, Swan City have put a few bids in, and I think our latest bid is a £4.5 million bid. Again, for a player with 1 year left in his contract, so Wickham will be making some very, very good money in terms of that situation. But anyway, yeah, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe on the video. Portsmouth fans, let me know how you're feeling about Florian Bianchini. Trust me, it's a player in there, but we just haven't seen it. And for a player who's a winger, his better position is up front. strange, but you'll soon realise what I mean by that. And Luton fans, let me know how you feel about the signing of Jerry Yates. Do you think he will make a good partnership? Now, Luton do have a few good strikers on their ranks. Naki Wells from Bristol City, and obviously they got that Ali as well, who they signed from Exeter in January, who's a decent focal point. I believe they still got Adebayo as well. Where he'll be at the end of the window, we don't know. But yeah, Swans fans, also let me know your thoughts on these two transfers out. And fingers crossed, this means a signing is coming in very shortly. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you all in the next one.
I did was no chance. Oh, baby, let me show you. I did was no chance. Oh.